morning, guys. This is Nate doing another day hike adventure. I'm in the San Miguel Mountains right now, which are a really small sub-range kind of southeast of the Jemez. They're super visible when you're heading north from Albuquerque. I'll see if I can find a picture, and if you live in the area, you'll instantly recognize the mountains I'm talking about. They're also really obvious from the town of White Rock. It's really easy to tell the range. Those are the two vantages that I think make this look like a distinct range and not just like part of the blob that is the burnt out Jemez. But yeah, right now I'm on the Dome Wilderness High Point. I summited the Bandelier Wilderness High Point last weekend, which is somewhere there behind me. And yeah, this is the tallest point of the Dome Wilderness, which is like one of, if not the smallest wildernesses in northern New Mexico. It's not very frequently visited. In fact, I was breaking trail on snow to get up here myself. About the last 3 miles, I had some pretty good luck before then, but the last 3 miles was kind of a slog with just how long it took me to get up because of the deep, powdery snow. And of course, it was in the shadowiest, steepest part of the drive. Kind of the plan today, this was plan number one, was to hit the Dome Wilderness High Point. Super short hike. So in order to make it more worthwhile, I think we're gonna go hike over to, I think it's called Cerro Picacho, which is Spanish for hill peak or peak hill. Kind of a funny name. And maybe hit the dome, or maybe hit St. Peter's Dome, which is what the Dome Wilderness is named after, on the way back. That is the tallest mountain in this small range of San Miguel's. The view behind us is of Bandelier National Monument. This is, I believe, Capelin Canyon beneath me, which is one of the coolest canyons in that wilderness, but you could just see the patchwork of canyons behind me. Like I said, this isn't a very big range. As far as named peaks go, there's this peak, which isn't really named, it's just called the Dome Wilderness High Point. There's a Boundary Peak, which is like sort of sticking out right here. That peak has been on this channel. I did like a backcountry beer review before I was kind of doing the day hike videos, and I did that like 3 years ago yesterday. I think it was the anniversary yesterday, 3 years. And then St. Peter's Dome, obviously, and then, like I said, Cerro Picacho, which, so I guess when I do Cerro Picacho, I'll hit all the mountains in the San Miguel range, which is kind of cool. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's get down this peak. I actually have to pass my car to get to the other peaks, so I'll probably drop off some stuff because it's a lot warmer than I was really anticipating up here. All right, made it back to the vehicle. Now I'm headed up towards, I think I'm gonna go for Cerro Picacho first and then hit St. Peter's Dome on the way back if I'm feeling up to it. Like I said, I've already done that peak. Okay, I believe this is the St. Peter's Dome Trail. The snow doesn't look that deep because of all this high grass, but it's a solid 5 inches deep, and it's not very friendly to walk in. I'm hoping once I'm on the trail, it's a little bit better. All right, for the first time since we dismounted our vehicle, the objective of the day, well, one of the objectives is in view. Pretty snowy, pretty deep. I mean, definitely at points it was getting close to a foot, and especially it was difficult where game hadn't already been. But now we're on a south slope. Now granted, we have to go up the north slope of Cerro Picacho, so I'm hoping that it's not too deep there since it's pretty sun exposed, but we'll find out. All right, we're beginning our final descent before we begin our ascent. I do think, unfortunately, it's going to be pretty snowy on the way up there. It's always way snowier than it looks. That's what I've learned from doing winter hikes. Final approach. I don't know if you can see, but there's a herd of elk on top of the peak. I'm going to go say hi to them. Holy cow. Those are bighorn sheep. I have never seen bighorn sheep in the Jemez. I didn't think that they were there. I'm almost wondering if these are desert bighorn sheep. The only place they could have come from would be I don't know, Taos area. I did not expect to see this at all. See how close they let me get. Sorry, there's thorny plants here. Try to keep the camera steady. Well, wish me luck that one doesn't charge at me while I'm trying to get to the summit. But generally, bighorn sheep are pretty docile. Famous last words, I guess. All right, well, the bighorn sheep ran down that way. You can still maybe see them a little bit, but I don't think they're interested in being around here with me at all. There is the summit. Sit down and take a break and kind of assess my situation. Kind of think about whether or not I'd actually still like to go to St. Peter's Dome. That was coming up, that snow, and I have a feeling coming down as well. We're pretty tough on the old ankle. So yeah, we'll see. We'll think about that. Oh, like that, we were pretty much down. I always forget that going downhill in at least somewhat loose snow is actually pretty easy because it'll kind of cushion you and you can kind of just go down the fastest way. It's actually surprisingly comfortable on my ankle. I think because my ankle doesn't have to step on weird uneven ground, it kind of gets like hugged with every step, which is pleasant to think about. Anyway, we are back at probably the lowest point of the hike. So now we're gonna head back up on the trail. I did briefly consider going off trail up St. Peter's Dome, but I think with how deep the snow has been, which was sort of unexpected, I think I might give my ankle a little bit of a break. No pun intended. I have big plans for later this month and don't want to kind of destroy myself trying to do these peaks. You can also see things are starting to get a little spookier looking. There is supposed to be a pretty big winter storm rolling in, but when I checked the weather before I started this hike, it said it really wasn't supposed to start until like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So, you know, obviously we're not that far from the car. I think if I started seeing anything that looked suspicious, we would definitely just book it out of here. But I think we're good for now. Well, there's St. Peter's Dome, and I think I'm gonna skip it today. I've already done it. You can see I'm dealing with about, well, depending on where I'm at, 4 to 5 inches of snow on the road. It's just gonna be a huge pain to get up there, and I've basically already seen the views from there on this trip, and I've already been to the peak. So sorry I'm not taking you to St. Peter's Dome, but it is what it is. I'm pretty darn beat. All this snow, it was a great workout for the ankle, and by that I mean I don't think I'm gonna be walking right for a couple days. But yeah, really happy to finish out the San Miguel's as far as named peaks go. I think that's pretty cool, even if it's only 4 peaks to have bagged every peak in a range. It is 2023 for me. Maybe when this video airs, it will still be 2023, but otherwise, Happy New Year. See you guys in 2024.